Hello and welcome to Not Now in Theaters. Whether it's an underrated B-movie, a cult classic, or an underseen foreign film, this podcast is a highlight reel of movies past you might want to know more about and why. My name is Will Turntail, and I'm a writer and film fan from California. For this episode, we're going into Tobe Hooper's batshit crazy film, Lifeforce. The movie disappointed at release, but thanks to its unruly blend of science fiction and horror, fan appreciation has grown throughout the years. Space vampires, kinda zombie people, full frontal nudity, psychic powers, and Patrick Stewart. Lifeforce has a lot going on, and I'm excited to unpack it for you. A quick statement before we begin. Making films is hard, and you have to respect that. This is a fan's blog, so any criticisms are meant to be constructive. Alright, with that taken care of, let's go to the show. Lifeforce 1985 review, When Space Vampires Crash London Tea Time. Lifeforce is a Canon Group film. It was originally titled Space Vampires, and its female lead saunters around naked for approximately 75% of her screen time. Thanks to Canon's infamous reputation for cash grabs and exploitation, that description should tell you everything you need to know here. But it doesn't. Ignore the boob-flashing surface. Canon was playing for real here. The studio backed the movie with $25 million, a whole lot of $1985, and gave creative control to venerable horror director Tobe Hooper of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the special effects were produced by Academy Award winner John Dykstra from Star Wars, bringing together horror and sci-fi heavyweights. Yet despite the talent behind the camera and in the production, the movie crashed, making back about half its money at the box office. And critics were mixed. Janet Maslin called it hysterical vampire porn. And even some who praised it, like Leonard Maltin, acknowledged it as completely crazy. Yet rather than sink into the obscurity bin, it's that something different about Lifeforce that has earned it a fan base that survives to this day. So a middling mess or an unhinged masterpiece, is Lifeforce a good movie? The plot of Lifeforce. United States and British astronauts aboard the spacecraft Churchill, led by Colonel Tom Carlson, observe Halley's Comet. Soon, in the comet's tail, they discover an alien spacecraft. It has dried-out bat-like creatures and 3 alien/humanoid bodies in suspended animation, including a nude space girl. Carlson and crew bring aboard the specimens and set a course for Earth. Unbeknownst to them, their sleeping cargo is ready to feed on humankind's life force. Can Colonel Colin Kane, with help from Dr. Hans Fallada, unravel the mystery of the alien beings and stop them? And just taking you through the cast here. Colonel Tom Carlson is played by Steve Railsback. The nude space girl is played by Mathilda May. Colonel Colin Kane is played by Peter Firth. And Dr. Hans Fallada is played by Frank Finlay. And you can read the rest of the main cast in the transcript. It includes, of course, Patrick Stewart, Mr. Picard, who, of course, we'll get to. And then you've also got Chris Jagger as the first vampire. And yes, Chris Jagger is actually the brother of Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones. So that's kind of interesting. And if you'd like to watch a trailer for the movie, you can head over to IMDb with the link here in the transcript and check that out. Alright, so let's talk about what's working well and not quite working so well about Lifeforce. I'll give out points for what stands out and deduct for anything I thought could be improved, and we'll add the points up at the end. Good thing number 1, originality and risks, plus 6 points. With a naked woman springing from an invisible coffin, you fear this film will be a pathetic expression of someone's perverted male fantasy. When Carlson's space crew finds the woman and 2 men nude, their penises are obscured, but not her boobs and vajayjay. Typical. But that's the only hint of a cheap gimmick here, and the rest of the film aims higher. Standing out in the lore of vampires and what is also arguably a zombie movie is a tough ask. And space vampires sound like a cheap reinvention of tired conventions. But there's a whole shebang of purposeful ideas floating in this film. Psychic powers, mutating corpses, men's weakness for desires, and body-hopping magic. And while the seduction is full frontal and center, the film swerves dark towers, flying hordes of bats, or crosses and garlic. We're not even following a sucked blood trail here. It's rare to allow this many ideas into one cage or to feel original in not one but two genres. And the structure is refreshing. We don't set up a monster in Act 1, then spend Act 2 hiding from it, getting to know our characters, and then confront the beast in Act 3. That's a fine but overfished formula. Instead, we are whisked to unexpected locations, shown new wrinkles in the plot, and greeted with sinister reveals. A film always ups the stakes and dishes out surprises. You have to applaud the studio for giving Hooper and crew the freedom to create. You can watch a clip of a discussion about the nature of the space vampires with a link here in the transcript over at Rotten Tomatoes Movie Clips on YouTube. Good thing number 2, sans the cheap gore and stupid scares, plus 2 points. There are a few jump scares and certainly on-screen deaths. Still, Lifeforce doesn't play it cheap and nasty. No attention-grabbing gross-outs or doors swept shut inexplicably at ear-deafening volume just for atmosphere here. Instead, the whole terror we've been building toward comes crashing down by the film's end, and it's a satisfying payoff. Good thing number 3, performances, plus 3 points. Steve Railsback's Tom Carlson is grappling with mental trauma and the not-so-joyful experience of being half-possessed. Often shouting, sweating, and shaking uncontrollably, his histrionic-littered performance fits. Peter Firth's Colin is subtly some kind of sicko or a jaded, unsympathetic investigator who's seen quite some horrors. He can assure Carlson he's enough of a voyeur to watch a woman get slapped around, if necessary, and see deaths like numbers. Yet there's a heroic grit to Kane, one we can buy into when he has to plunge into danger and confront the unholy. Frank Finlay's Dr. Hans Fallada is as curious about the vampire's ways as he is in stopping them. And Mathilda May looks alluring or downright devilish, a woman men cannot resist. You can watch a clip of Carlson psychologically interrogating Ellen, a suspect in the investigation, with a YouTube link to Rotten Tomatoes Movie Clips here in the transcript. Good thing number 4, oh, the delicious humanity, plus 3 points. Serious spoiler alerts here, so if you don't want to hear them, go ahead and use the chapter skip or jump ahead about a minute and a half. Break out your Smiths playlist because for our final act, it's absolute panic on those streets of London. In a set-piece bonanza, we watch both Carlson and Kane tear through a vampire zombie-infested London, full of extras being horrifically hauled down and turned. Though we've seen the full-blown zombie apocalypse in many films, there's a standout quality to the sheer on-screen destruction here. Disturbing, sad, and painful, it raises the stakes for the audience and slightly sickens as all the heroes can do is run past mob after mob of helpless victims, fire, and overturned vehicles. Good thing number 5, Patrick Stewart, plus 0 points. Okay, I can't destroy whatever integrity my arbitrary review score scrapes to begin with by bumping this film up just because Captain Picard himself shows up. But he does, and when he does, it turns into one hell of a scene I won't give away. Good thing number 6, special effects, plus 2 points. The movie's special effects had to have impressed in their time. Today, they are naturally dated, but hold up quite well. The models and sets in space still impress. The vampire creatures seem to lay strange eggs and like it spooky all right. Inspired by an artichoke, the vampire ship is a sinister, organic design fitting for creatures. And there are nifty, ethereal, force lightning-like effects for the Lifeforce stealing moments. And you can watch one of those Lifeforce stealing moments with the YouTube link to Rotten Tomatoes Movie Clips at this point in the transcript. Alright, so let's get into the not as good things about Lifeforce. Not as good thing number 1, slow starter, minus 2 points. In some marketing materials, the film's tagline is, "In the blink of an eye, the terror begins." But it's false advertising. In true British fashion, the movie stops for tea before it gets going. To be fair to the film, there's a lot of exposition to waddle through, but you wonder if cuts could have gotten us into the Mad Mix faster. Not as good thing number 2, creature effects, minus 1 point. While some have enjoyed the creature effects, I must be honest, the turned victims look like overly thin dolls. I feel a little guilty saying that. You would imagine much difficult puppetry is at work here, and I have a feeling other fans of this movie would ask me just what I'm talking about and throw something within reach at me. But for me, there's no fear factor with proportions that don't look human. Take this withered fellow, and you can click on the link in the transcript to see a picture of it. He looks like he pals around with Eddie from the Iron Maiden album covers. You could easily beat him to dust with a baseball bat if he tried to get you. I wonder why simple makeup wasn't used for the turn early in the movie. Later in the film, the vampire's victims wear makeup and look absolutely zombie-like and intimidating. So not only does the thin people effect not impress, unless I'm missing something, it breaks continuity. You can watch a clip of transforming/exploding zombie people with the YouTube link to Rotten Tomatoes movie clips at this portion of the transcript. Okay, so Lifeforce's total arbitrary point score is 11 points. And on my scale of let's not watch this movie, should I watch this movie, or go watch this movie, I'm going to give Lifeforce my go watch rating. Whether you end up enjoying the movie or not, Lifeforce is too different to be ignored. I can see why many call this classic a horror sci-fi that carves enough unique ground to stand out. The film is slow to get moving, and its creature effects are in some ways disappointing. But not to worry, you'll be moving from what the shit to what the shit moment in no time. Like the sign of a film taking many risks, Lifeforce divides opinion, but certainly carries mine. So if you're after something that's within its vampire/zombie genre, but doesn't play by the conventions, sign up. Lifeforce's legacy. Okay, so what is the legacy of Lifeforce? Well, its somewhat cult status brought releases through Scream Factory and Arrow Video, including a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray in 2022. Released in 1985, a fair number of comments about this movie on Reddit threads or YouTube comments are men still gawking about the beauty of Mathilda May, or revealing that she was really the first naked woman they got a good look at in their teens. Her nakedness is definitely a talking point, but I don't think the nudity is entirely exploitative in principle, though. Her ability to seduce men is a linchpin of the plot, and, well, they're showing that. And it was 1985. Plenty of raunchy sex comedies had been around, but I can't think of too many other films released before it that were committed to putting that much sexuality at the heart of a serious movie. Maybe a listener can correct me here. But if it was made now, you would think they would imply that Space Girl is nude instead, changing the lighting or blocking her privates. That would still get the point across. Miss May, a French actor, was about 20 years old at the time. She's gone on to be a director and actor in many films, most of them in France. I can't speak to them because I'm not familiar with them at all, but she's been active from what I can tell all the way up to 2023 at this time of publishing. Despite Lifeforce's commercial failure, it was the first of a 3-picture deal with Tobe Hooper had with Cannon. So we followed it up with 2 more in 1986, Invaders from Mars and The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Invaders lost a little money, and Massacre 2 made a bit, but it still has a continued fan base today. Cannon would continue making many genre films they were used to, like Sly Stallone's Cobra, Charles Bronson's Death Wish 3, and Chuck Norris's Invasion USA. But Lifeforce was a big-budget commercial failure that, unfortunately, they would repeat with Masters of the Universe and Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. The studio's inability to profit from these massive outlays was one of the reasons for its late 1980s bankruptcy. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to my thoughts on Lifeforce, directed by Tobe Hooper. If you liked this episode, would you leave me a review on your favorite podcast platform? Reviews help new channels like mine get discovered, and I would appreciate your taking 1 minute or 2 to share your thoughts. And what do you think about Lifeforce? Did I miss something or say something totally wrong? You can reach out and let me know on Blue Sky using the link in the transcript. Or if you want to look for me, you'll find me as Will Turntail, and it's at not-ni-theaters.bsky.social. This podcast episode is a production copyright of Overegged Media, LLC, located in Sacramento, California. Reference photos linked in the transcript are copyrighted by the Internet Movie Database. This review's factual information was gathered through online sources like Wikipedia, IMDb, or interviews. Misrepresentations and errors are possible, but unintentional. Introduction music, Neon Laser Horizon by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Exit music, Voxel Revolution, and additional music and vision, both by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com, and both licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Goodbye for now.